Hi, welcome to Random Life and Boxing. In this video, I'll be telling you about the relation between the Philadelphia self-defense and the peak Abu, popularized by Mike Tyson. They both are flat-foot boxing stances, or you call them wrestler stance. Even if you notice, Saul Canelo, he is also a flat-foot fighter here, fighting with Shane Mosley. When he fought another flat-foot fighter who was more experienced, Floyd Money Mayweather, he schooled him. Mayweather schooled Canelo. Notice one thing, that majority of the flat-foot fighters are having very sharp right here. I refer to the rear hand. They have very sharp rear hand. Michael Katsidis versus Al and the referee Mayweather. When Al's corner threw the towel, Mayweather knew that it was not due to the head injury. The knockdown was not due to the head injury, but exhaustion. Here, you'll notice one more thing, that the fighters like Mike Tyson, even they have the same flat foot fighting stance. They stand squat to the opponent, but the Philadelphia self-defense fighters like James Toney, they stand slant to their opponents, giving a lesser angle. Even in the square, when you turn it down, it starts looking like a trapezium, and slowly it becomes a line. So both the defense are oriented to reduce the sight, the angle of observation for the opponent. Evander Holyfield is a very tough and rugged fighter. He even was fighting James Toney, he was unable to land a clean shot. And that is what these kind of fighters does, especially the Philadelphia self-defense fighters. They rely on their lead hand being the defense, because their hand is down, the lead hand is down. So they use the elbow, the shoulder, and even their fist as a part of defense. Notice how much confidence he was putting here and telling the cameraman, "Oh, I'm getting the point here." James Toney, he tried outclassing Evander Holyfield. I don't think that it was the right decision by the Holyfield's corner to throw the towel, because a man like Holyfield is a true warrior, and his fight name suggests the same, and it suits him. So here, a mixed stance fighter is fighting a flat foot fighter, because in the close range nobody can stand in the toes, nobody can stand on the toes. Freddie Roach once said, when I went to see a Muay Thai match, the fighter with the strong grip on the floor, what even taking more punishment and giving more punishment. So I decided to mix these stances. Also, Muhammad Ali, who is an outboxer and goes on toes fighting, dancing around. So mix them both and create our own stance. George Benton popularized the Philly self-defense, the Philadelphia self-defense, and that we know today is due to the legends like George Benton. It doesn't mean that you have to just go through only one kind of fighting stance, being flat foot or being on the toes. No, you have to mix them both, because you cannot be flat foot all time, you cannot be on the toes all time. So you have to decide where you fit best. If you fit good in the long range, then keep majority of yourself in long range, outboxing, on the toes. If you're fitting good with the close range and you're comfortable there, then go ahead with flat foot being your major. Major here means not the subject, but the time which you spend in fighting Maximus. You have to do lots of sparring to understand the basic principles of these kind of stances. Whether you want to go for peak Abu or you see Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao mixes both peak Abu side to side shuffles and the Philly shell for the southpaw. So these kind of fighters will be having a strong count. Floyd Mayweather is himself a different class of fighter. Marcus Maidana, a wide stance brawler who throws very hard shots. But still, Mayweather was able to maneuver and break his rhythm because he doesn't follow any kind of rhythm. That is one fact which these fighters have. The Philly shell defense, why I like Philly shell defense, because this kind of defense is rhythmless, because any movement, whichever time, you can turn it to conventional guard, turtle shell, or you can make it go the peak Abu. So that is the advantage of using Philly shell defense. You can mix all the other type of boxing stances. Also, to mix the different stances and styles of boxing, you need patience. So these fighters, especially the Philly shell defense fighters, they have more patience compared to the fighters who are in the other stances or the regular boxing stance with both hands near the chin, conventional guard or the side guard. Here, Marcus Maidana, a wide stance power puncher who hits you, knocks the lights out. Same way, when he goes and gets the rhythm, that time it will be tough to stop them. But here, he's fighting a fighter who is more technical and have no rhythm. Floyd Mayweather is a defensive genius. You hate him or you like him, he is a defense genius. The timing and the impact. But also there are fighters who have limited skills but unlimited will. Rocky Marciano being one such legend who fights with the sheer willpower and brute force. So here he follows unconventional fighting methods and just fight with instincts. More fighters like him are Emmanuel Augustus, Prince Naseem Hamed. But still, you need experience, and for becoming a good fighter, not just by training hard, you have to spar and get the experience. Joe Louis, one of the boxing legends, he even fought Hazard Charles. Hazard Charles being another skill set. But Joe Louis was out of his prime. But still, I keep Joe Louis as one of the greatest legends of all time in heavyweight division. Because the fighters which have more heart plus patience, they always take the crowd. Hazard Charles was very sharp and he also used the Philly shell defense. Floyd Mayweather and James Toney popularized this style, and as you know today, as you see today, the fights, the undisputed champion, he fought many top ranked fighters and even the MMA fighter Conor McGregor. In boxing, he's smart. You see here, this is the stance which I was talking about. This stance is neither flat foot or off foot. Here, there is no boxing stance, and the fight is just going through the instincts. The man is having a broken rhythm because he doesn't think before throwing the punch. That's why when Mayweather fought Emmanuel Augustus. Mayweather was confused, thinking that what this man is, what he is going to do next, because the man himself didn't know what I will throw next. This is instinctive boxing, and they just rely on muscle memory and their body. So for these kind of fighters, even Prince Naseem Hamed, you need a tremendous willpower and patience and a cut from the world. You should be in a state of nirvana, cut from the world. You should not care about what world is, what thinking is, what regular stances are, and just do what you like doing. Prince Naseem Hamed, he is not an unorthodox fighter. He is also a defensive genius, because he'll keep majority of his time being an outside boxer and off-foot fighter, and suddenly he'll turn flat foot and then he'll shock. He'll be southpaw, suddenly he'll be unorthodox. Confidence. If you lack it, you will be getting beating from the people who are even weaker than you. And to get that kind of confidence, you have to fight. Only when you fight, you become a fighter. And to become a fighter, you must take this step. Only once when you take this step, you start learning. And when you start learning, you start improving. And when you start improving, there is nothing which can stop you other than you yourself. Just keep the faith, trust your instincts, and keep moving forward. The animation Hajime no Ippo, where you can learn the real aspects of boxing. The characters are nothing but real prospects of boxing, like Mike Tyson, Ricardo Lopez. Here, one character. Even if you have seen Thomas the Hitman Hearn, he is projected here as Mashiba with his flicker jabs. Comes the ghost of Eastern boxing, Southeast Asia, Ricardo Martinez. He's shown as a character here who is very dangerous and very classic. He's a real threat, but very calm. Ricardo Finito Lopez, the real character in real life. He is such a fighter who can fight at the long range, beats you. Who can fight at the close range, beats you. Who can find the angles from any stance. Who can fight you in conventional guard. Who can fight you in the Philly shell. Either he is in southpaw or orthodox. Both will be like a nightmare. Also mixture of peek-a-boo, and the defense being slick, even the attacks being slick. You don't know where they are coming from, the attacks where they are coming from, and you don't know how he is defending. That's the level of fighting which these fighters have. These kind of fighters are really rare. Ricardo Lopez is one such rarest and finest fighters ever seen. At present, I compare him to Lomachenko. Vasily Lomachenko is one such fighter who's doing such kind of things which Ricardo Lopez has done. Please drop down in the comments that if you want to know more about the fighters like Ricardo Lopez. So they are real gems of boxing, and I list them as one of the GOATs, greatest of all times. The way they punch, especially the uppercut and hooks. To know more about fighters like Ricardo Lopez or other legends of boxing, do subscribe my channel, and also to support me, the time which I am investing here. Please share my content, press the bell button if you want any further notifications. Have a great day. Das Vidania. My name is Vargazi Rana and I am a combat coach.